Morning, everybody. Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming today. Okay, we've got a nice big room today, and I think we're going to have a fabulous session here. But we want to say, first of all, thanks to our YouTube audience for joining us this morning in the sacred energy of Circle. And today you're going to be able to watch our evidential mediums as they connect with people who've crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from those people. And our hope is that by watching our mediums at work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones that you may have lost aren't lost. They're, in fact, still with you. So please join us as we open with a prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. All right, so we have 8 people. How about if we go 8 minutes each? And whenever anybody gets a link, just go ahead and step in there. I'm looking for my timer and I can't find it. There it is. Okay. Set that up for 8 minutes. Okay, thank you, Rini. Go ahead, step on up.
I have a woman stepping in, and I feel she made it to her 80s, and she's showing me a necklace that's close to her neckline. There looks like there's either pearls or some type of gemstone in it, but it lays close to her neck. And I feel like this was gifted to you, or you had gifted this to her, but there's some significance about a necklace between her and you. She's also shown me with grayed hair, and she's a quiet woman. She pretty much kept to herself. She's saying about the old rule about not gossiping. So I think back in the days, that was common, but she's putting her finger up and she's shaking it, and she said, no, we don't do that. And I'm going to stop there and see if anyone understands this woman.
I'm listening, Rini.
As well.
Two?
Yes.
Okay. She's also showing me her hand, so she was definitely married. Would either of you understand this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you were involved with her from a young age, because she's showing me a child's hand in her hand. Would you understand this?
Yes.
No, I'm out.
Okay. Thank you. Elise, can I continue to work with you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I also feel she was an important part of your life. She took happiness in being by your side and helping to guide you. I feel like as a young child. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. She's also showing me taking out a Band-Aid and putting it across your knee when you were young. Would you understand this?
I'm sure. Probably. Probably more than one.
Okay. She's also showing me berry bushes, and picking berries. She's shown me like, kind of looks like it's out in the country and there's like some posts and there's berries growing. Would you understand that?
I understand that.
Okay. Okay. And I feel like the two of you would gather these together and head back home and make like pies with them or jams with them. Would you understand that?
Yeah, I remember doing it. I'm not sure if I was with her, but probably.
Okay, okay,
Probably.
okay. She's showing me like pies sitting on a counter cooling.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay. Um, I also feel like there was another woman involved in her life, and this could have been a really close friend. I feel like she's also in spirit. Would you understand a woman that she was close with that could be a close friend?
Yes, but I don't know that would know anything about them.
Okay. She's just saying that she's there with her. Um, and she's just smiling. This woman's just standing there, just smiling. She's just standing by her side. So she's just
Yeah.
acknowledging that her friend is there with her too. Um, and with that, she's talking about, friendships being golden. And she's talking about a friendship that you have with someone. Um, and she says, at times you don't always see eye to eye, but both of you overlook whatever the problem is and move on with it. Would you understand that?
Um, yeah, definitely a golden friendship.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Um, and she showed me the old time bracelets that are made like of a thread and they're knotted together. She's showing me that, which is showing me the friendship between the two of you and it being a cherished friendship. I
Yeah.
feel like you have been friends for many years. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. She's also showing me the two of you roller skating together. Would you understand that?
No.
No. She showed me those little skates that you put on your shoes when you were young and just like
Right.
skating around like on a sidewalk or on a playground.
I
Um,
understand that.
okay. And what she's saying is she's talking about skating through life. And she said, and she's actually shown me a silhouette of two young children holding hands and just walking together. And she said, and to be able to skate through life smoothly, we need a best friend. And she's giving you thumbs up for this friend that you have. And she said, life is more joyful with a friend by your side. And she's so proud that you have a friend that is that close and can put a smile on your face. And
Yeah.
she's showing me marking the calendar and putting a day aside for the two of you just to go out and have fun. Go have lunch or go shopping. Just do something just for the two of you to make the day special. She said, because you're special to me. And I want you to know while you're here, you're special. And you're special to that friend of yours. And don't ever forget it. And she's showing me like a star in the sky, like um, a guiding star helping you along your way. And she said, and that's what friends do. And I'm going to leave her with love and light with you. And thank you for taking that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like feedback?
Sure.
Yeah, this is my grandmother and I have her pearls that are they're short. They're like very short. Yep.
Okay.
That's a long time. What else? The friend, that was really important because I was speaking with my dearest friend yesterday. We haven't talked in a long time and we Zoomed. And so we were both very emotional because we just haven't seen each other. And we live far apart now. Anyway, so
Yeah, I
yeah.
felt that deep connection.
Yeah, it was huge. It was a huge moment yesterday yeah, how
Yeah.
much we appreciate one another.
Yes.
So I thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Rainey, that was such an interesting reading to watch. And the one thing that struck me about that was just the emotion of it. And And I was listening to you talk, and the one thing that struck me was is you're just pulling out all these facts so effortlessly. And so for the benefit of our YouTube audience, how do you know all this stuff? Like, how does that information come to you? Can you explain what it is that you feel?
Sure.
Make it look easy.
It's almost like a door opens and they step in, and then they're just standing there just talking to me like me and you having a conversation. She just giving me information, and as she's giving me information, I'm just relaying it to the sitter. And I can feel that emotion, like when she was talking about her friend. She just, and I'm getting goosebumps now again as I say it. It's almost like electric currents running up and down your arms and across your chest, knowing that they're confirming that information as you're relaying it to them. So it's just like being in conversation with a friend, and they're just talking to me, I'm listening, and then I'm just relaying the information to the sitter.
But you actually answered that question. I want to point out something for our YouTube audience. Okay. So first of all, she was talking, okay, to that spirit, but more importantly, she felt the emotion and the love from the spirit. And because she felt the emotion and the love, she was able to actually convey that to Elise. Okay. And she kind of took that to the next level by using two different senses, which was pretty good. And thank you for that demonstration, Rainey. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Who wants to go next? Joanne, thank you. Step on up.
Well, of course, after reading that beautiful reading, I really feel like I'm with you, Reedy, too, because as I was trying to connect this, I'm trying to decipher this, so I'm hoping you can take this.
Okay.
So the first thing that came through, and I'm like, what is this? Like grape, stomping on grapes, and then I saw the reference of Lucille Ball and cracking up and wanting to do exactly like, but I feel like this friend was that way and would encourage you and to do all these wacky things. Would you understand that? I'm just going to stop right there because
yes.
And how she came through and how I saw her, she had curly hair, long curly hair, or had curly hair, but she just showed herself. And it was so interesting how you were sharing with Elise about friendship, and then about and when you mentioned, it was so interesting because she was talking to me as you were talking and sharing that good listener. She said you were such a great listener, and she is so much fun. And I feel like you both were the word kindred spirits. Like you both definitely love to have fun, live in the moment. But she would egg you on to do a lot of things. That's what she's telling me. Like,
Yeah.
and it reminds me of the grape scene of Lucille Ball and cracking up, like, and and she's telling me that you sometimes you would, I'm feeling like this is a childhood friend because she said sometimes you would get in trouble. Like she would get you in trouble. It's not like you were a troublemaker. She would get you in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for taking that. And as I'm sitting with her, she's so excited about what's happening with you right now. She is sharing with me that she's pointing to Carol's greener pastures, the beautiful green,
Wow.
and that you have gone you. She sees me like you going over all the rough patches and there'll be greener pastures. And she's pointing to the beautiful scene behind Carol. I have to sort of, she's telling me things and I don't want to, it's sort of, I'm trying to, because she knows you very, very well in your heart.
Yeah.
But there's something weighing really heavy with you. And I'm just going to not go into great detail. We can talk later if we want. But and that's weighing very, very heavy on you. but you would definitely, the feeling she's giving me is that you would definitely come to terms with that.
Mm.
And just want to mention it was like a feeling of betrayal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I just want to leave that there. We are in a public setting. And oh my goodness, she loved to have fun all the time. Like
You did.
she is showing me another scene of you. I'm like, show me something else. And then she's showing me like these, uh, you know how you, well, for myself, I do Zumba. You wrap this skirt with the little beads and her dancing with this little skirt with the beads and, doing that. She was a riot.
You was.
It's always having fun.
Yeah.
And the sense is that she didn't have an easy life. Like, I don't think she had an easy life, but
No,
she
she did not.
didn't dwell in it.
Correct.
She did not dwell in it. And she preferred to just say, I don't want to curse, but she would curse. I'm going to say, to hell with it. Like, let's just lean into this moment and relish this time that we have right now. And that was her spirit. That was her true essence of who she was.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. And I don't know, she's giving me the feeling like she showed me the wind chimes and she actually plays with those. Like when you ask, are you here or whatever, and she just goes like I saw her going like this and hitting the wind chimes. Um, I'm hearing, and it's interesting, the message is coming in. And it's words of encouragement. And she is sharing, um, there's more wonderful things to come, Rainey.
Uh-huh.
And you share so much light. And just being yourself, you are being a role model. That's what she's saying. Just being yourself, going through the process, even though it's very difficult, and just shining your light through the process. She's sharing with me that it's like a ripple effect. Just being you, just being you. You don't have to do anything else. Just be you.
Uh-huh.
And it's interesting. I used to always, my daughter would share with me, I'm like, oh, I want more than I love you. But she says, Mommy, sometimes that's all they need to hear. And that's what she's saying. She loves you, Rini.
Uh-huh.
She loves you.
Uh-huh.
And you helped her through difficult times.
Yeah.
And like, there's no amount of words that she can say to thank you for what you've done for her. And she just wants to say, keep being you, Rini. And I'll leave her love with you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, make me cry. That was my best friend of over 30 years, and we did everything together. And yes, we got in trouble. And it was innocent trouble. Like we were coming home from a game that we went to see, and she's like, "Oh, let's stop by. It's so and so's birthday." And when we got there, they picked us up and threw us in the pool. And she was married at the time, and I wasn't. And I had to take her home, and her husband was freaking out because we were both dripping wet and wanted to know why we were soaking wet when we were coming from this game and there was no water involved.
Oh, yeah.
He was mad, and he talked about the little skirts with the
Yes.
jingles on it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we both bought these little skirts and we were taking this dance class and we wore them, and then we went to some type of event at a hospital, and they had something and we wore those little skirts. We were shaking and jingling, and oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And there is an issue with betrayal, so I understand, and I thank you for keeping that between us. That was awesome. And when she said about Carol's background in green pasture, she used to always say to me, if something happened, she goes, it's just a bump in the road. We'll get over it. Just a bump in the road. So thank you so much for sharing. That was awesome.
Thank you for taking the message.
You're welcome. Thank you.
She's a beautiful spirit.
A beautiful reading, Joanne, obviously, but I'm so glad that you said what you did, because you brought up something that has never been discussed on the Mediumship channel before. So I want to ask you, okay, about, or I want you to talk to the audience, if that's okay, about the fact that you said there's betrayal here, but I don't want to talk about it. Okay. And I know there are people listening out here who may be afraid to go to a medium because they're afraid that something's going to come up, okay, that is negative or, whatever. Okay. So can you talk a little bit about like that fact that you chose not to discuss it in ethics in mediumship?
Yeah, I definitely learned that, especially being a certified life coach. You want to be ethical about how you deliver your information. But if it's in a private session, I would still ask if it's okay for me to share, so that they'll be ready to receive the information that Spirit's given me. But I really trust Spirit. Spirit always knows what the sitter needs to hear. But yes, it's very important to that balance. Like, for instance, if you saw something very traumatic happen and you see the visuals, it's not, you don't have to share all the gruesome details. That's not ethical, because you don't want to have the sitter experience that over again. You can know it, but you don't need to, re-traumatize the person. And I really do believe that what we do, Spirit always shares with us the highest and best for the sitter. So I don't think anyone should be afraid. If anything, we facilitate to be healers to help other people bridge that bond between spirit and heal, the person in front of us.
Okay, and then you're also saying that depending on whether or not you're facing a person one-on-one versus being more like in a group environment like this, which is called gallery setting,
Exactly.
that you may have treated that piece of information differently than to
Yes, that, and also information that we get sometimes that it's not important. It's normally like in the very beginning, we want to get all these details, but it's not important to drag out because I know for myself, I don't want to re-traumatize the sitter. I can say that they've experienced a traumatic accident, but I don't have to go through all the details for myself anyway. That's the way because I don't have, it's only a little bit of time that they experience in their life, and they have so much other life that they've lived. And I know Spirit doesn't want their loved ones to dwell on that, but to remember all the good times.
Okay. So hopefully anybody out there who's listening and thinking about going to a medium, hopefully that answers a question that you may have about how a medium would handle, how an ethical medium would handle information that might be sensitive to you. So thank you so much for that, Joanne. Okay, now Effie is asked to go next. So go ahead.
I think that was wonderful, Joanne. That's beautiful. I am drawn to Rini and Adrian. I do have a friend stepping forward. She is a medium, a professional medium. And she's also someone that she's a smoker also when she's here. And when she would also do her readings, certainly when you would go out with her, she'd always have that cigarette in her hand. Would you understand this, Rini or Adrian? It's a friend. It's a lady.
Yes.
Rini. Okay, wonderful. And this lady, as a friend, there's a lot of laughter between the two of you. So I do understand this was a close relationship.
Yeah.
And she would do your cards. So I do feel like when you would see her, she would take out the spread of cards, the tarot, would you understand this, Rini?
He did not, but my other really good friend did the tarot reading.
So I didn't feel there was another friend. Is the other friend just by any chance a medium also?
No.
This is an experience. So the lady, the first one, would you understand she was an experienced medium?
Yes.
And she was also a professional medium.
Yes.
And would you also understand that she was also do demonstrations, that she would go out?
Yes.
And she's a way where she would get the information and she knew how to relay it to the audience, but she could capture the audience's attention. She also had a funny way about her. So I feel like she was also she was an amusing also medium.
Yes. Yes. She
Right.
was.
And would you also understand that she dressed a certain way where she'd wear like long skirts, but she'd also have that mystical way about her with chains and this was her unique personality. So I also understand she was one of a kind. When you saw her, you wouldn't forget her as
Yes. Yes.
just by how she's and would you also understand that she lived in the area where you lived, where in the town?
Yes.
And also she's someone that walked her own walk, Rini, and she had her own journey. So she didn't care what other people thought about her. She was determined to do what she was going to do.
Yes.
Would you also understand that you were friends for a long time, even going back and having a lot of laughter together? And would you understand this?
No, it was not a long-term relationship. No.
Would you understand then that you would go on trips together?
Yes.
And would you also understand there was a group of people that you would go on trips? It
Yes.
wasn't just you and her alone.
Yes.
And it would be like a bus that I want to go on, or it would take me to other places.
Yes.
And on that bus, everybody was in the same, everybody knew everybody, and it was like a ball that was here.
Yes.
It's like a school bus where we go back. And I also feel like you'd go with her to, it reminds me also of Sher and Carol's background, places that were very green, a lot of nature where you
Yes.
wanted to be outside.
Yes.
And she's also, there'll be moments where you'd be together meditating, almost like a yoga, like a Buddhist
Yes.
style that was here. But she also would have had in her home little Buddha, I don't remember what they're called, Buddha statues or Buddha little people.
I don't know, but
Now, would you understand she
I
had
can
something like Adrian behind her? She had one of those cloths around her
Yes,
when
she
she
did.
was doing.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And when she's also like reading, I do feel like people would like to, oh, thank you very much. Sorry, coffee. Thank you. People would come in and they wanted to feel also the entertainment about her. And I'm careful about when I say entertainment because she's so amusing. That's why they came to her. That's why people were drawn to her because she spoke, she said what she wanted. She was very blunt.
Yes.
And you needed to hear some of these words. It wasn't what you wanted to hear. She said what you needed to hear, what was going on in your life. She also just reminds me to also like she was a magician. So she wouldn't have also just done mediumship. She also would have done other modalities. Would you understand this?
That I don't know.
And so going back to the places where I want to take you to going on the trips with a lot of people, would you also understand that she disliked all the dogma, the influences of this is how it is, the strictness. She was much more of a free spirit,
Yes.
your friend.
Yes. Yes.
And she comes in today because I do also feel there is a father stepping forward for you, Rini, coming in very, very much in the background. Would you understand your father is on the other side?
Yes.
And would you also understand it was not a close relationship with dad?
In a certain aspect, yes.
Thank you. Now, as your friend steps forward, there's also a place where you'd go to like little towns and go shopping and go to like little unique places.
Yeah.
And there is also, she comes here and talking about the friendship that you had, talking about the fun times, that you don't have that. You think you don't have that, but you do. You do have people around you that love you. You do have people that care about you, and the universe is working on your behalf to get you to where you are. And I know a lot about your situation with your home. She's just says, remember the fun times because that's what really matters in life. Look always to the bright side. Be an observer in the background. Your grandmother is stepping forward. There's a picture, I feel, of her that would be like on a porch from a long time ago. Would you understand this, grandmother?
Yes, yes.
And would you also understand that she had two little planters of flowers in front of her porch
Oh, it's so
when
funny.
you'd
I
go
don't
visit her?
remember. That was a while ago. I don't remember, but I
No,
do remember the porch.
right. And would you also understand that there's other people on the porch that would come that are in the picture? It's not just her.
Yes.
And would you also understand that she had some of her grandkids on the porch with her in the picture?
Mhm.
And there was like the oldest grandchild is on the picture. So I do feel that she's mentioning this old grandchild that was the firstborn. Would you understand this?
Yes. Mhm.
That's what you are. She says one of the most responsible people out there that had to take into your own hands life and had to move forward. But you did it. So there's a sense of accomplishment that she says that you have. And she's extremely proud of you.
Mm.
Rainey, extremely proud of you. This grandmother has a very sharp mind too when she's here. And I don't feel she would have had dementia or Alzheimer's or anything. Would you understand this? And she remembered everything.
Yes.
She's very interested in this mediumship on the other side. I don't feel when she was here she was or
No,
believed
she
it.
was not.
So she's very fascinated that you are also a medium, that she's able to come in and to connect. And I know we talked about chimes, but I do feel also that there is a blue bird that comes to you in your house that you would be aware of, and that's your sign that she's here. Would you understand this?
Yes. Yes.
And would you also understand that your grandmother had a cuckoo clock too at one time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then she says it's time to step forward, Rainey, because when I see that little door opening, it's time to start getting out, time to start connecting with others because you've been in a place where it's been very, very difficult for you. And she goes, things are working in your favor and it's gonna be okay. And I'll leave you with her love.
Oh, thank you. That was so perfect. That was actually my first mediumship teacher, and we
Mhm.
got to be really good friends. She did a radio station on Mondays, and she would always say something that was funny, like to break the ice. She would have everyone laughing, or she would pick somebody, like you had to call in and she'd say, oh, this number. And then when I would say my voice, she'd hear it and she's like, oh, but I know her, but I don't know about her. So she would let the audience know that she knew me, but she didn't know all the details of my life. And she'd say something and we'd just crack up. That was really good. The greenery was, she was at Lilydale in the forest, the old time forest. Um, she read there. And she would have us all come together at her house and we would do meditations together and readings. So that, and then my grandma, I just always loved her porch and I can understand that. But I have my picture of my teacher right here. She sits by me and she's one of my guides.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Rainey.
All right, Effie. So that was just got 3 readings in a row that are just like knocking it out of the park. So I have a quick question, first of all. So how did you know that that woman was a medium? What was it that gave you that cue?
Because they know how to connect very easily with us. They know
Okay.
what they're doing. And she just came
Ah,
in too fast, too quick. And she just knew they know how to connect with us and our senses, what works for us, what doesn't work for us. So I know when I see someone like this, they are a medium or feeling someone like this.
okay.
She's
So she's
definitely a medium. And she's so much fun.
Yeah, she
She's
was.
so much fun.
She was
Yeah.
hysterical, and she said it like
Yeah.
it was too. If you liked it or not, she said it.
Nice.
But then, Effie, I actually have another question for you too,
Mhm.
because and I thought this was funny, but so I saw you get the coffee delivery in the middle of your
Mhm.
reading, okay? And I laughed, okay, because you did not miss a beat.
Mm-mm.
There you were, okay, just, took the cup and you're still talking, okay? And I'm sure there are beginning mediums out there who are looking at that and trying to figure out why is it that like you didn't just lose your whole train of thought. How did you manage to stay focused on that, to because you were You just came
Mhm,
right with it. Okay, so can
right,
you talk to
yeah.
beginning mediums about keeping the
Yeah.
link?
Yeah. Well, I do talk a lot about setting the power and keeping the link for longer, but I did start to practice in settings that were very loud, very noisy, babies, supermarkets, places where at the gym, even one time, I did a demonstration where I could hear the weights in the background. And it's just experience, practicing with a lot of distractions, because that's going to happen to everyone, even listening. You're going to get to a place where you're going to be on stage or doing a demonstration, and you're going to have a baby crying, or you're going to have someone talking, the phone's ringing, lots of noise going on. So it's better to start to get used to it, to the noise. So when I hear noise now, it's here, but I'm still with Rini. I'm still with your friend, and bless your friend that knows how to work with all of us mediums, because she made it even more simple for us. She
Well,
knew
I'm sure
also
that's
how to
ironic.
grow that power. Sorry.
I'm sure that's ironic with you getting a cup of coffee, because that's what she would stress to us in the very beginning. Like, we did a class and she wanted all these distractions coming and going. And I can remember
Mhm,
one of my friends was in there and I said, "You got to be quiet. I can't hear what
mhm.
they're saying." And my teacher said, "No, no, no, she needs to do that.
Yes,
Distraction,
yes,
because you'll overcome that." So I kind of
yeah.
laughed when you got the coffee.
She's good because she knew how to grow the power. She
Yeah,
knew how to keep raising and raising. So bless
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Okay.
Bless
So
her.
I thought
Thank
that was
you.
her
Okay.
reminding me of that. Just keep doing that. Just keep going without missing a beat.
Okay. But the general advice here for developing mediums is to just practice that on purpose,
Mhm.
and then eventually you'll get the hang of it. So, all right. Thank you, Effie. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Sure. Thank you. Go ahead.
That was just incredible, I feel. The flow, the information that came through, just tremendous. Yeah. Um, I'm at a very quiet, peaceful place. It feels very much like countryside, very few houses around. And I feel it's a grandma coming in, and she feels more on the maternal side. She's just incredible, tough lady, very independent, and just strong, tall, strong, and crack of the dawn is important. She would get up really nice and bright early, and even though she had a special clock, which is chicken. I mean, the cock. Um, in the morning, she was, our family actually, right from the start, were woken up by these chickens. Um, it feels like she would have lived quite a bit of time by herself in the later part of her life, but there is some visitation from her family members, and I feel you were connected to her and you visited her when you were really young. So who can understand this lady, Carol?
I can. Oh, Andy Lee's,
Emily,
Rini, and Joanne.
kasi jackpot. She just adored you. You would remember um, walking around, I want to say like in tutu. Um, or she would have dressed you up like that. And she just adoration is just incredible. And she always loved to have you around. Braiding hair, and she had braided hair too. I feel she had one tail. Who, Carol, you understand?
The braided
Anybody
tail.
else?
I'm going to step back.
Okay. Elise, Rini. Okay. Rini, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I have Carol and Rini. A very nice couple, but I feel the grandpa passed first. I'm not seeing him around. So the last few years were kind of tough on her, but she managed very well. And I feel her son would have visited her to help out whenever he could. Would that make sense?
That's no to me, so I'm going to step out.
No,
Oh,
it's no
okay.
for me too.
I feel a young person would be coming to help her out with some chores.
Sure, I'm listening to this.
Okay. Thanks, Stephanie. She always wanted her kids, literally everybody around her, to be just totally independent.
Yes.
She was totally self-sufficient. She didn't need anything of luxury, comfort. Whatever she had, she was just pure, joyful, and contented with life.
Yes.
Okay. Again, she's bringing me to the chores that she had to do, and it's just incredible. And never missed a beat, and the things lined up for her to do were just a reminder for really everybody. Do your part, and you don't have to rely on all the conveniences so much.
Yes.
It's good to have the conveniences, but to really use your muscles would strengthen you a lot more, give you more joy, more freedom as well, because you don't have to go and fix those things. And she's also saying that getting up early was just important to her, and it felt like a competition sometimes between her bio clock and this cock making noise early mornings. It felt like they were competing who gets up first or who wakes up others first. Her heart was really strong. She always made others feel that they were precious, they were loved, and they have the freedom to do anything they want, and they don't need to look after her. So that was the key that point that she wants to bring in. Even though it affected her heart emotionally, she never wanted to show that to anybody, because she was instilling the freedom, the independence that everybody should have, and not be tied to taking care of even the elders, unless they ask, of course.
Mhm.
And they are appreciating your strength. You are a powerful lady as well, and you want everybody to be independent, but your hands are tied sometimes, which is fine. Not everybody can be the way they want, but responsibilities can tie you down to even if somebody has to be dependent on you, there's a reason. There's a reason, and there's a call, there's a learning in there. So I'm going to stop here and leave you with lots of love and blessing and more independence that you deserve.
Thank you. Thank you, Cher. There's a reason why she's talking about independence, because she wants me to start becoming more independent at this phase of my life. Yeah, early mornings was the norm. Unfortunately, excuse me, I'm still wake up early morning. I can't sleep in. 5 a.m. is a norm, or 5:30 or 6. The second one is her independence. She was extremely independent. Didn't rely and didn't want people to be helping her. So that was tough for her to accept help. And the other one was her mind. My grandfather passed first, so she was alone for a long time. She was okay to be alone for a long time. She was able, because of her independency and her strength, to do things on her own. She was self-sufficient and didn't speak a word of English and didn't drive, and so did a lot of things on her own.
But she lived a beautiful life.
Yes, she did.
Very
Yeah.
contented. Yeah.
Mhm. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Very loving. Thank you.
All right. Sure. That was a beautiful reading. And I was listening to this and I wanted to ask you, first of all, so right in the beginning of that, okay, you ended up with 4 people who could take your information. Okay. And then it seems to me like you kind of went through a systematic process, okay, to eliminate people so that your information only applied to one person. And I wondered if you would explain to our YouTube audience how you managed to focus that down to one person.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
It's all spirits. They know who the information would go to. I'm not searching, looking for information. They are giving me information, and I'm just relaying that. If somebody did not take the information, I'm supposed to just keep going in a way, because they would always be the taker of the information, because spirits never want to waste their energy.
Okay. All right.
So it was this, I would say, self-directed in a way. I mean, I had 4 people. If I had just lost my heart there, that, oh, I'm going the wrong direction, I would have lost the connection. But they brought Effie into the picture.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good piece of advice for, beginning mediums out there. If you find yourself in this situation, just trust what the information that spirit gives you, And Spirit will sort it out for you. Don't you worry about it. So thank you for that, Shore. Very
Almost
good.
always, yes.
Good advice. Good advice.
Thank
All
you.
right, Tammy has asked to go next. Do you want to go ahead, Tammy?
Sure. Thank you, Carol. Okay, so I have a woman here who is I believe that she was a friend. She feels very much like a friend. She could be a family member, like a cousin or something, but I'm really feeling more like this was a friend that you would have had from a very young age, because she shows me. I can hear. I can see jumping rope, and I can hear patty cake, and I can hear kids in a playground. So I almost feel it feels very much like a school environment and a younger school environment. So you would have known her at this very young age. She also tells me that that she went through some really tough periods in her life. And when she was first coming in, I felt kind of dizzy. So I feel that there was a point in her life where there was something that made her feel very unbalanced, is the word that's coming in, unbalanced and dizzy. So whether unbalanced from whatever was going on in her life, or dizziness from whatever an illness she may have been suffering from. The name also that came in was like a Lucia, or it was like Lucia, something with that A on the end, that Ia, on the end. So who is she here for? Because I'm not getting pulled in a particular direction.
I'm listening, Tammy.
I'm
Okay,
listening too, but can't take the name.
take the name. Okay, how about you, Effie? Can you take the name?
Her name was Anastasia.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get I know it was an Ia. Okay, thank you. Okay, so, and you would understand that you knew her from a very young age. You would have been in
Yes.
grade school together.
Yes.
Oh, did you also understand the why I would feel unbalanced and kind of dizzy at one point?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let me just feel into it. The other thing that that my awareness keeps being pulled to, and she's rubbing her hand over it now. Is there's a small book. It's a small, and it feels very thin, and it feels kind of like a small book. But there's something about the texture on this book, and I want to say it's like a texture of like either suede. It feels like
It's suede. I
Would
picked
you
it
under?
up yesterday.
Excuse me.
I picked it up yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay. It looks like it's a nice kind of color too, like like it's a color, like a
Beautiful color.
red or
It's a navy, like a navy blue, but a darker navy blue.
yeah, it feels dark and kind of a rich feel to it.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. It feels really good in my hands. Sorry, I'm feeling your. So
Yeah, it's all good.
just okay. Oh, this is really interesting. She's opening your book. So let me just see. She's opening the book. Okay. This is really interesting because I feel that she's opened the book and I feel that she's writing on the cover as though this would have been a gift from her. Okay. And so as though she's writing to Effie. You were to Effie, you're brilliant. And I feel like she's saying, if I could have given this to you myself, like sooner, like this is something that she would have given to you, that I would have given to you.
Right. Right.
Okay. I'm hoping you understand that. It's kind of like the message before more, before more information, but so, or as part of this. And so let me just go back to her and okay. Okay, so she shows me she shows me that you would have known each other for a longer period of time than just those very early days. Would you understand knowing her into at least into your teens? I'm going to say far she's going to take it, because she shows me that you had a very nice friendship, and I want to say the word quiet is what's coming in. Like there's this quiet friendship, and
It wasn't quiet.
it wasn't. Let me just understand by quiet, because it's an interesting word that she's using, and she's bringing me into the feeling of it. I almost like the two of you are quietly like planning something.
Yeah.
You're like quietly like almost like you were in cahoots is the word I want. Like you would be to do things. So there was kind of quiet kind of, and then whatever it would be would happen. But and that the two of you would stay. People kind of understood that you were, you're good friends. And so it would have been hard. Let me just understand if she's showing me. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, it would have been hard for kind of I don't feel like you're part of I feel like the two of you could have been part of a bigger group if you wanted to be, but I felt like it'd be hard for anybody to kind of get into that friend.
Yeah.
And she's showing me, there was like, not even a bubble. It was hard. It was like, you can't get in because you two were like this very strong oneness. She's showing me. Okay, thank you. Okay, she's also showing me. Okay, she's also saying that too, that you were both very good students and that you actually worked together. You would study together?
Yes, certain classes. One of them especially, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because she's showing me studying together. Okay, that's really cute. Okay, she's also showing, she's giving me this image and talking about that you would be like have a friendly competition with this.
Yes, we did.
Raised her hand first, like oh, but it was it was I want to say, oh, thank you for that. Yes, I understand that you motivated each other. So it wasn't like you had one of the competitions like, but it was like you got each other motivated. And so it was very productive,
Yes.
Get a last piece of information from her for you for today. Okay, she said, you are so awesome. You're just rocking it off the planet. I stand back amazed. And let's see, anything else she's got here? I stand back amazed and in awe. And I feel like she's saying, I want to give you a little pinch. And so, I'm not quite understanding what how that fits in, but I'm just going to leave you with her really just standing back and in awe of everything you're doing. And so I'll leave you with that, Effie.
Well, thanks, Tamara. She hasn't come in for quite some time, so I was really pleased to hear from her today. So we grew up in the same neighborhood, exactly same religion, same culture. So we got each other. We got each other. So the strictness, the orthodox. And as we got older, we all went to the same school, of course, and we rebelled as teenagers. Of course, that's what happens when you're so. And so because we were similar, we rebelled. And we're teenagers and things happen, body starts to, we were guy crazy, both of us. And we didn't want to tell our parents. So we would be at school, okay, after 4:30, where are you going to be? He's going to be there. Let's all go there. It was just her and I always sneaking around. So our parents wouldn't find out or other parents wouldn't find out. So they wouldn't tell nobody, right? So we were so similar and we thought we're going to no one's going to find out. Because we're going to, beat the system. And that was us always. So, and we were just rebellious because we didn't want to be always going to church, and we wanted to do other things. So we were just getting to the stage, both of us. I didn't hear from her for quite some time because she became a very successful lawyer, and she just passed a couple of years ago. So, but she was someone that we liked each other because our energy was the same. We were both strong, and we're going to beat the system. We're going to do what we want.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank-
and the Greek school, we were like we didn't want to learn all this Greek and Aramaic, and we had to go back into all this scriptures, and we would look at each other going, let's try to cheat. How are we going to cheat? And we could never cheat. So we really had to learn it. We really had to learn it. So thank you.
Oh my goodness.
a
That's
great.
great. I haven't heard from her in a while.
You're so fortunate to have had a friendship like that, to have had that,
Mhm.
of
It
course.
just must be Friends Day on the Mediumship Channel or
Yeah.
something. I don't, it's funny, but it is wonderful to see all these different aspects of friendship. But
The
actually,
book,
Tammy,
sorry, the book. I picked this up yesterday. It's called the Zohar. It's an extra copy of the Torah. You know that there's a Torah. This is the Zohar, and it's all spirituality. And what I'm actually learning is this is the symbols in the scriptures where you read this way, and so I'm just picking up the energy from the symbols, and it's all light and trying to you give the wisdom and guidance and listening to the creator where my soul's journey is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm also learning a lot about my corrections in this life, from past lives, what I brought into this life. And because I don't want to come back. So if I don't fix it now, I know I'm going to have to come back and do it in another life. So I'm learning all of this. And I'm also learning how we're intertwined together. The people that come into our lives are here for a reason.
Yeah, true. And Carol, could I just ask Effie, and would she have, because she
He
opened the
was
book.
very open to other religions, to other cultures. He was very, very open.
Okay,
Because we would talk about that. Go, it's just, we don't want to be. Why can't we go to Catholic school? Why can't we do? We would always be. We start to rebel.
Okay, that's why she would spoke to you. Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
all right. So Tammy, I have a question for you about actually that book. Okay, because in your reading, you said Spirit directed my attention to a book. Okay. So can you, for the benefit of the YouTube audience, explain the significance of what it means when Spirit directs your attention to something and why you shouldn't ignore it?
Well, yes, because it's part of the reading and it's part of the information that they want to share with the recipient, who person they're coming to communicate with. And it comes in different ways, but for me, I literally saw hands. Hands. Well, first how did that happen? I saw the book. Maybe I saw hands. I think I saw hands like going over.
That's what I do. Yes.
I saw hands. Oh, do you? Okay. I saw hands going over the book. And then I could literally feel the book. Like I could feel it. I could feel it was like a leather, kind of. And I thought, oh, what a nice texture that is. And so I could feel it. And then I saw her open. I only saw hands, but I could see hands like opening the book. And then I watched her write something in the top corner and then tried to see what she was writing, but instead I kind of saw it and felt it at the same time. Yeah, which is interesting because once I had a dream, I don't know, like 5 years ago, about something, and I dreamt, it was in one of those REM states. I dreamt somebody was writing a text to me, and it pertained to what I was concerned about. And they wrote the first line of the text, like "Don't be afraid," And I tried to look closer to see the rest of what they were going to write because there were 2 sentences. And then I woke up. So I never saw the second sentence, and I don't think it was important. But I even saw the punctuation, as though, they had kind of, their fingers were trying to hit things because there was like an exclamation point and a comma or something that, after my name. So it was he was fumbling with. And so, it can come in through dreams too. So our audience should also be open to that,
All right.
getting a dream as possible.
Thank you. All right, Adrian is asked to go next. So step on up, Adrian.
All right. So I have a female here with me. She feels very motherly, grandmotherly to me. I want to throw out the name like Allison or Allie, like an A name like that. And I feel like she kind of takes me back in time to maybe like the 1950s. And I feel like she's very ladylike, in her dress and her style. I feel like there's something with gloves. Also, she makes me aware of like wearing gloves, and I don't know if they're driving gloves or like part of her outfit, but I feel like I kind of see that. Um, Very ladylike, very proper. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like in The Notebook, the movie The Notebook, the lady in it, kind of how she was, very proper. So I don't know if there's like the Southern lady kind of thing, but when I say that, I also want to go to like a bigger city like Chicago or New York, because I feel like I'm getting like the busyness of a bigger city. And I also want to throw out like the reference to Wrigley's, whether that's gum or the stadium. I'm not sure, but I want to throw that name out there. So can anybody understand this so far? Rainey? Can you understand all of it, Rainey?
Pretty much of it. There was only one piece that I couldn't understand.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And you would understand this very like proper lady. Like I feel like she's very proper. Going back to that.
I'll tell you at the end. It's very significant. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me see what else I get from her. There's even something with when she sits, and she may have been wearing like a dress or a skirt or something, but when she sits down, I feel like there's a proper way to sit, like with crossing your legs. Like I feel like put one ankle over the other.
Yeah.
She's just so proper. But she also kind of gives me like it's like the societal norms of the time. So
yeah.
While it seems like to me where I'm like, whoa, she's like really, really proper, like for her, that was very, very normal, So like that's kind of the feeling.
Yeah.
Would you understand with her? I'm not sure if she's talking about her or you. I actually think she's talking about both, actually. Would you understand the reference to tea, like tea time?
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm getting that, but I also feel like it's kind of modern too. Like I feel like I'm not just seeing it back in time. Like I feel like I'm seeing it kind of currently. So would you understand like a tea or a luncheon or something that would be like,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
okay, thank you. But okay, I feel like she's kind of showing me you, and I feel like there's a little bit of smiling on her part. I wouldn't even say laughter, but it's like the smile of like your style compared to her style is vastly different.
Oh, yes. And I'll tell you that too at the end.
Like she's kind of talking about you, and I feel like I'm seeing you in like very bright and bold colors and like bold things, where she would be a little more like neutral toned.
Yes.
Like she wouldn't stand out, and you would.
Yes.
And she kind of laughs about that.
Yes.
And she's laughing about that, but she's also bringing in a lot of like she's admiring you because you're being you, and she just loves that. Like you're not scared to be outside of like the normal little box. Like you can shine, and you don't care. You go with what flows, and she just loves that. Um you're just being you, and like you don't care what people think or what they do or don't think. Like you're just very authentically you. And she talks kind of about like the societal norms again, because I almost feel as if her properness was kind of like shaped that way, where she felt like she had to kind of
Yes.
fit in this box.
Yes.
And you're kind of like kicking the box to the side and being like, I don't care about that. Like, that's not important to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's just coming in with so much like admiration and love for that.
Aw.
Uh, she's also, as pretty much I think all of us are aware of like your house situation and like the progress that you've been making with that. She is bringing me to that, and I feel like I'm seeing, I think maybe the current state of it kind of being more on stilts type of thing. Um, and she's like just watching, like I feel like she's just kind of in awe of that too, because if you were to drive by and kind of see this house, it's almost like floating in a way. I don't know, like it looks.
Well, it does at night. It looks like it is. Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of being in awe of that, like how people can, I don't know, make repairs and um like I guess maybe it being so stable, in the condition it's in, like how stable it is.
Mhm.
Uh and I also feel like she's talking about this newer part of your home is going to be vastly newer than the rest of it. I almost feel like 100 years or something. Like she's like, because the rest of it is much older.
Mhm.
Would that make sense? That like,
Yes. Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
And she's like, in all of that, just how you can have like this big time difference in between and still, you know, get things to work together.
Yeah.
Let me see what else she has here. And you would understand this as like mother or grandmother.
No.
That makes no. Okay, so that was the one piece that was wrong. I still am feeling like this like motherly vibe from her though.
I
So
understand that.
okay.
I know
Okay.
what she's talking about.
Okay. Thank you. Because I almost get like this watching over people. Like, she would kind of be a mother hen of sorts or something, like taking people and
Yes.
watching them.
Yes. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And I feel like that's kind of why she's coming in today, is to say like that hasn't changed. She's still very much doing this,
Yeah.
coming in and watching and coming in and supporting. And she's going back to those beams. And I feel like there's support beams of your home.
Yeah.
And like really there's this correlation between the foundation of your home being very strong and the foundation of you, because I feel like this entire process has really created you and your foundation to be very strong as well. So it's kind of showed you just how strong you actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like she's kind of making that correlation. Um, so yeah, with that, I'll just leave her love, and I thank her for coming in, and thank you for taking her.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was so spot on. That was a very dear friend of mine. Our kids had gone to school together and we remained friends. And her mother, she was total opposite of her mother. Her mother was very prim and proper back in the days, and my friend was not like that at all. Well, her mother was teaching her that and sent her off to boarding school where they had to wear these little white gloves and dresses, and she absolutely hated it. And she would tell me about that. So after, she left and got married and had her own life, she was always in blue jeans and a t-shirt. She was always, but when she dressed up, it was like a transformation. She was beautiful in a dress and heels and everything, but she would never wear heels before or get dressed up. So we went out one night and I was always all dressed up and I would have heels on and she'd have her blue jeans on and her t-shirt on. And she'd come home and she was a little tipsy and she's like, give me them heels. I'm gonna wear them heels. I'm gonna show you I can do this. And they were pink. They were bright pink. They were slides, and she put them on, and she's trying to walk. just cracking up about that. It was just like amazing. And yes, my house is up on the stilts and the support beams, and I was just like standing down there the other night looking at it, saying, this is what's supporting my house. And it goes down spiritually to the foundation of you too. And building a strong foundation and trusting in all these people that I don't even know, that are helping me. And so it is a big, trust and balance there too. There was one other thing that you said, I'm trying to think. You said about being a mother hen. She was always looking out at me, and she also raised chickens too. So,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Well, that was still on the roll of the friendship train on the
Yeah,
medium
yeah.
scale today. So thank you,
Yeah.
Adrian. But what I thought was interesting about your reading is that your spirit actually talked about like kind of like a critical situation that is going on in Reenie's life right now. Okay. And Reenie, I'm assuming that spirit died long before
Oh yeah,
this
many years.
happened. Okay. So, Adrian, what are your thoughts on how this spirit knows about this? And, what's that about?
Well, to me, and what I have found in mediumship is that they're always watching. Like our loved ones never really leave, like they just transition, right? So like maybe they're in a different form than like physically being here with you and I, but they're always around and they're always watching and they're very aware of everything in our lives. And to me, that's just proof of that, you know? So yeah.
Okay. And that's beautiful. And I hope that statement from Adrian gives comfort to somebody out there who may have lost someone. And, there it is. There's the proof, that they're there and they're watching, what's going on in your life. So thank you for that, Adrian. Are you feeling it, Elise?
I am feeling the wedding march. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. That's all I keep hearing. So with that, I don't know who's here yet. But I think it's called the wedding march. And there's a man playing the organ. He is playing the organ in this big, beautiful cathedral church. And his whole body and being is in this organ. He loves playing the organ. And he's always wanted to. He's wanted to play since he was a kid. He plays the piano as well. But he's always wanted to play the organ. And he's also, he's had the opportunity, he's talking about a pipe organ, playing a pipe organ. And traveling to Europe as well and going into the cathedrals and I don't know if he played there. I'm not, anyway, just being so passionate about a pipe organ. I keep trying to see if he's any. It's just about the organ. So does anyone take this man, this music guy in spirit?
I know an organist who is living.
That is living.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can take aspects of this, but not sure about that person in particular.
Rainey, okay. What do you understand, Rainey?
I understand the wedding march. I understand the beautiful church. I understand the organ. I understand the piano playing. I understand going to Europe. Not specifically the man playing the organ.
Right. Okay, and that's what I was like, okay, I can't, okay. So the man in spirit is not the man playing the organ.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, and that's why I couldn't quite nail that down, so that makes sense. Carol, I think I'm with Renee, but I keep listening, please, because I'm not really sure what's happening here. But the organ and the music, just this in the wedding march, that's all I hear. I'll go back to that. That I just keep playing it in
I
my
can
head.
understand that greatly.
And how emotional this time was, this wedding and this wedding march.
Yeah.
It was a very significant weddings, all weddings are special, right? But there's something,
Mhm.
oh, there's a lady like this. There's just something very spectacular about this wedding. She's just using all these words and momentous and these very, and being very grateful to be there and to, okay, this is strange. Not, she almost was not there. Do you understand that? There's,
No,
um,
was almost not there.
she was almost not there.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's like hanging on somehow here. Whew. She's very, very emotional and again, very grateful that she made it that long. Feels like she says on her way out the door. She's on her way out the door. And almost didn't get there. And she was so very grateful for this, excuse me, this union. Of these two people. Okay, let's see. She's not really focusing on herself at all, this lady. She wants to keep talking about these people in this wedding and these and just being there. So and she's talking about mother of the bride, would you understand that?
Mhm.
That she's
Mhm.
mother of the bride? Okay. Yeah, and she can barely speak. She's just so overwhelmed with her daughter. And the man that has come into her life. So very grateful for that, especially at this time. Because they were very close. She and her daughter had a very close relationship. Or like this. Very close. And she knew she wasn't going to be there for all the special occasions after this. Do you understand that? That she's not.
That I don't. I think that might be the grandmother, but I'm not for sure. It's not
Okay.
the mother. It's not the mother.
Okay.
Now, you might not be with me, but.
Oh, no, wait, don't tell me that now. Carol, does that make, well, the organist. Okay, maybe they're both. Yeah, this lady knew that she would not be around for all the other big occasions, and so she was very grateful.
I understand another woman like that around her. Yeah,
That would be very grateful.
yeah, but not her mother.
This union has taken place because
Yes,
this
yes,
is such a good fit for this
yes, yes.
the lady getting married.
Yeah.
Okay, she gave me the name Charles and Robert. Charles or Robert?
I can take Robert.
Charles and
Charles,
Robert.
I have to think about.
Okay. Yeah, this lady is older now. She's kind of showing herself. I'm not sure that I didn't have both of them, but the mom and the grandmother, or the other lady. This lady is older. She's smaller. She's rounder,
That sounds like her grandma.
Yeah, but she's very, very sweet.
Yes,
She's
very
sweet,
sweet.
not overbearing. She's very kind and
Yeah.
not shy and withdrawn, but she's just kind of very. She's She's just very giving, and lots of love, and she's just there. She's there, fully. She's fully present and there, and just loves being a part of it. And the grandmother, the husband had passed before her.
Yes, yes.
Um,
That's her grandmother. Yes.
the grandfather had already passed. And so do you understand the very strong connection with the bride, again, with the grandmother?
Yeah.
Very close
Mhm.
connection
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
this. And the grandmother's very religious.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Attends church
Yes.
very much. And do you understand the grandmother traveling to Europe to
No, the
someone
mother,
is
the
going?
mother traveled to Europe.
Okay, the mother. Oh my gosh, they're very intertwined here.
Mm.
Traveling to Europe. I've got a lot of people wound up together.
It's always crazy with mine.
Yeah, they're very close knit, very enmeshed, should I say that? Enmeshed family. Um, so back to the grandmother. Yeah, the granddaughter spent a lot of time with the grandmother.
Yeah.
And she loved that. She loved being with her. And she's showing braiding her hair.
Yes. Yes.
Grandmother's hair. She's braiding her
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
two braids, not one. And she's picking flowers with her, showing her how to garden and okay, and riding. The granddaughter has a bike. She rides
Yeah.
her bike
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
at her house, and finally the quiet grandmother at the church is finally stepping in now fully, but anyway, um. She's just here with her heart and love, and she's sending that to you, Rini. All the blessings and love in your
Oh,
and thank you.
thank you. My family always bombards. They all come in together
Yeah,
and we can
they're
thank
like,
God for the
wait.
medium. But I was just looking at wedding pictures last night, and my brother only had one daughter, and he couldn't wait for this wedding. Well, he was knocking on death's door. He was so bad. They never thought he was going to make it to the wedding. So he started practicing walking up and down the hallway so he could walk her down the aisle with the wedding march and in the music and in this beautiful chapel with the stained glass windows. And you would have looked at them and never knew he was sick. He was like bound and determined he was doing this wedding. And she plays organ and piano at the church. And her other grandmother played piano. The parents went to Europe. Her grandmother was very religious. She was on the small side and very kind, very sweet. Like there was one other piece that she said that was, but they were all spot on. I can understand because she just had her wedding anniversary and their baby was sick, so they had to postpone it. And she said, so we're not going to be able to go out for a couple more weeks yet. So I think that's why she's talking about it being so important and still, making it happen.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Beautiful reading, Elise. So I have a question about that. When you originally started that by saying, I hear the wedding march. Okay. Now, did you actually hear that? Like a radio playing in your ear, or was it something
I
like
just start humming it, and so I know it's coming in and it's just coming out. I don't know how I hear it. I mean, it's not like a radio, but I'll just start. So I just started humming it. I started humming the wedding march. I thought that was the name of it.
So
And
do
then,
you think, did Spirit make you do that?
yes.
Spirit made you start humming the wedding march, and
Mm.
that's how you knew that whole reading was about a wedding.
It was about a wedding. But then I could see this guy playing the organ, someone playing the organ. But then I couldn't tell. It was like, I don't feel like this is the guy in spirit. And then it was like, there were a lot of moving parts I could tell, but all I knew was the wedding march. That was the theme.
Okay, but speaking to our YouTube audience, the point is that Elise paid attention to that. Okay, something made her start humming the wedding march, and that was her first indication that there was a spirit here who, had something to say about a wedding. So,
Um,
okay, nice job. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut us down with a prayer if everyone would join me, please. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you've given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless all of our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. Well, thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the Mediumship channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Same